I'm about to show you this crazy cookbook from 1968. It's full of foreign food and some outdated cultural stereotypes. So the craziness starts on the inside cover, where we have this spread of some Mexican dishes, including right there in the middle, some tamales, which for some reason have sauce on the outside. I guess whoever designed it didn't realize that you're not supposed to eat that it's dried corn husk. So off to a good start, aren't we? Now here it tells you how to make a Scandinavian smorgasbord. And they have these egg and olive penguins, which, I mean, yeah, they're cute, but they don't have penguins in Scandinavia. They're only in the southern hemisphere. So no, sorry, Scandinavians do not put penguins on their smorgasbord. The next offensive item comes on this page, specialties from sunny Spain. Spanish paella recipe, only they tell you to pronounce it paella. Paella. Nope. Paella. Here they have some pages on some Russian dishes, including chicken Kiev. And they wrote, decreed, truly a dish fit for a Tsar. I mean, I don't know, if our Russian people, are you offended by that? I could see it going either way. I mean, are they longing for the days of the Tsar? And I mean, this was the 60s. Was it like a statement against communism? I don't know. Oh boy, so here we are, page 26, probably the most offensive. Your honorable Chinese dinner. And it starts out, Chinese cookery is as much an art as the carving of delicate jade. I doubt any Chinese person who ever cooked anything compared this to carving jade. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Highly doubt that. And unfortunately, it gets worse from there. Like a little further down, it says how each dish tastes so good, which so is an old stereotype. Apparently, it's from a Japanese phrase that got conflated with Chinese people. So whenever you had any Asian person in the media, in movies, TV, they were always saying like so, and yeah, just that would not be published today, that's for sure. And then they also suggest that you eat with chopsticks if you have the yen. Again, yen is Japanese currency, but we're talking about Chinese food. Doesn't make sense. And down here, they tell you how to create the atmosphere of a real Chinese dinner by lighting incense. I mean, who wants to breathe in incense while you're eating? And if you thought they were done being offensive to Chinese people on that page, you're wrong, because here we have another page with an abacus, because yes, Chinese people count while they eat. And even this picture is totally disgusting. This is supposed to be sweet and sour pork. So the yellow parts, I thought that was the meat. That's actually pineapple. And these reddish pink pieces, that's the pork, which it looks like someone forgot to cook it. But by far, the most offensive thing happens on page 44, where they have this recipe for braised celery hearts. How disgusting is that? So thank you for joining me on this culinary journey around the world, courtesy of Better Homes and Gardens, 1968, Meals with the Foreign Flair Cookbook. Having looked at all the recipes, I am genuinely impressed. Like, I thought they all would have been Americanized and, you know, full of ketchup and mayo and gelatin. But no, they actually look pretty decent. Like, I actually want to cook some of these, not as a joke to see how bad they are, but because they actually look good. And which is kind of crazy for a foreign-themed cookbook from almost 60 years ago. But aside from some questionable content and outdated stereotypes, it's a pretty solid cookbook, which I was surprised about. So thanks for watching this video. I had a lot of fun doing this. I've been wanting to do this for a while, so thank you for joining me. If you liked it, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button. Let me know if you have any other vintage cookbooks with questionable content. I'm a sucker for those things. And remember to embrace the awkward, and I'll see you next time.